Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see here, I'm in first place in all the Challenge League activities for the week of January 18, 2025 when I'm recording this video. And I'm in the gold tier at this point. I'm guessing this is my last chance to get first place because then we move up to platinum and then diamond tiers. At diamond, you're flying against the best guys in the game, so it's high level competition. Below gold is a bronze and silver tier, and they were pretty easy to get first place scores in. It wasn't until I got to the gold tier that I had some pretty stiff competition. You can see Chris and Jackson here in the second and third positions, and I kind of went back and forth with both of them on some of the first place positions. So they're obviously pretty good pilots because they gave me a run for the money here. Now, as I was trying to get the first place position in all of the different activities, I was searching on YouTube to see if I could find, especially on the low altitude run, to find what the most efficient run through that course is, because that's a course where you have to be both low and fast. So I couldn't really find anything. I kind of had to figure it out myself. So I just wanted to give you guys some tips on how I go about trying to figure that out. I'll give you tips on how I do a fast rally race, and then probably the helicopter landing challenges are easier than the airplane ones because there's some techniques that I use in order to do those, and I'll detail that in this video as well. Now, I am flying these in VR, and I think it is a little bit easier to do some of these activities. I think especially the rally race in VR, because you can look around and you can see parts of the map that it would be very difficult to see just doing it on a computer screen. Let's jump into the rally race. All right, so as I fly this rally race, I'm just gonna give you what's going through my brain here. As I'm flying through a gate, I'm actually looking at the gate beyond it. So I want to set up so I can efficiently go through the gate that's coming up next. And as you can see, I'm really hugging the left and right sides of these gates because I'm trying to fly as straight of a line as possible. Because if you swing hard out to the left and the right, that just eats up energy and speed. As I'm climbing on the vertical section here, I'm trying to remain as low as possible. You don't need to climb too high and waste energy climbing. Go inverted here just so we can get down to the gates that are further below. And you can see I'm going to automatically start my left turn just to get around this one. And again, it's all about not really flying jerky. Just flying as efficiently as possible. I'm not using rudders, so I'm not inducing yaw drag. I'm going to go inverted and start to pull even before I'm in the gate to set up for the next one here. So you can see I'm always setting up for the gate that's coming next as I'm flying through my current gate. Now here, as I descend, I'm going to hit the top part of this gate because I don't want to waste energy descending too low. So it's all about conserving your energy to be as fast as you can. You want to fly as straight as you can, not climb any more than you need, and not descend any more than you need. Here's where VR helps because I go fully inverted and look through the top of my canopy for the next gate here. Coming through the final area here. You can see I'm getting my aircraft on its edge, preparing for the turns. You're just basically anticipating the next turn you need to do. You're not reacting. So I've improved my time here from 2:13 something to 2:11.82. Further cementing the first place position here on the rally race. Okay, well here we go. As I'm recording this video, Jackson went ahead and bumped me out of first place in both the low altitude race and the precision landing. So now I guess the video really is going to be how to get first place in the Gold Challenge League, because I'm going to have to do it. So let's jump into the low altitude race. Okay, when I do a low altitude race, the first thing I do is not do it at a low altitude. So there's two things you have to do. You have to do a low altitude and you have to make it as fast as possible. So what I do initially is do a higher altitude, just flight over the terrain to see if I can find like the low areas in the terrain. Like, so I'm basically trying to determine the path I'm going to take. You can see very low area off the left wingtip here. I tried going out there. The problem with that is it takes you too far off course, so your speed suffers. So while you do stay low, your overall time's bad. So as I come out over here, I can see, you know, a low area that I'm going to want to fly in down here off my left wingtip and go down to this lake. And there's like a little valley area after that lake that I'm going to stay into. And it's not too far off going from the goal. You can see some low area. There's a lake off to my right here. I did try and fly that as well, but that was a little, I just wasn't getting the better score here for me to do that. For me to follow the valley, I had to really go out far to the right there. So for me, it wasn't working. So I don't know what the record holder's doing, what route he's doing through here, but I'll show you what I did. But that's his first step, is just do a flyover and just kind of figure out what it is that you're going to do. Have a game plan. So let's restart and I'll actually fly. See if I can regain first. So that's a pretty good time he put up there. This was the tougher one for me to get first place in. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so the first thing I do here is dive down to the tree line, because it is, after all, a low altitude race, so you're supposed to fly low altitude. I'm heading right for climbing the mountain, so that I come out heading right for that little lake that I had scouted out in the reconnaissance flight. Okay, sometimes you can fly through a tree and sometimes they'll cause you a crash. That could have been a crash right there. I did try and fly through lower ravines going up this mountain and all, but it just wasn't worth it. You still have to climb the mountain, so just go straight up the mountain and stay as low as you can. So now I'm going to head right for the lake down here. I'm flying without any rudder at this point. I'm trying to be as smooth as I can. In my turns, I'm not really pulling back if I can avoid it. I'm just trying not to, anything like that where you're really doing hard turns or you're pushing rudder really hard, it just negatively impacts your speed. So you just want to fly as smooth as you can. Just using your ailerons for the turn, not so much your elevator. Staying as low as you can. You will hit trees, a lot of trees. Talking from experience here, that's one thing with this race, is that it's so friggin' low that that one tree just comes out and bites you like half the time you're doing this. I've had it where I've gone all the way up to the final turn right before the goal and hit a tree. It's so aggravating. I'm doing pretty good here. This pace is certainly going to be, if I can maintain it, it's going to be a first place without a doubt. Coming up into the final turn. I think I did it. Yep. First place. Alright, I gotta hurry up and get this video done and publish this before the guy comes back and beats me. Now I did video that last flight out of sequence, so you'll be able to see here that I have in fact gotten first place also in the precision landing. So let's go see how I did that. The first thing you need to do is go to free flight with a helicopter that you're going to do the precision landing with, because you're going to need to set up some custom camera angles to make this work. Alright, to set up some custom cameras, you have to use Shift ASWD to move and Shift JIKL to pivot your camera. So first I'm going to use D to move completely out of the aircraft and J to turn around and look at it. You can also use Shift Q and E to change elevation. So the first thing I need to do is get a good side shot of the aircraft so I can see how far forward I am on the helipad. If you're unfamiliar how to set up custom cameras, go into Controls, and go to Camera, and go to the cockpit camera and scroll all the way down to the bottom. So here you'll see Save Custom Camera 1, 2, 3, 4. You're really going to use Save Camera 1 and 2. The default bindings on the keyboard is Shift F5, Shift F6, and then to load them is Shift F1, Shift F2. You can leave the defaults, that's fine. Okay, once you have the good side shot that you want, you can go ahead and hit Shift F5 to save that custom camera angle. Once you have your camera set, we're now going to go position, again using the Shift AWSD and the Shift JIKL to position the camera behind, and use Shift, forget if it's Shift Q or E to change, one goes up, one goes down to change the elevation. You obviously want to get down below your tail boom here so you can see your skids. And just get the camera positioned properly so that you can get a really good shot of your skids from the back. And then you're going to hit Shift F6 to save that custom camera. Now that you have your custom cameras saved, you want to map them to something. So on my HOTAS, I've mapped those custom cameras to load those cameras to two buttons. Actually, they're two hat switches. So I've bound them so it's very easy to bring them up in the simulator. Now that you have those custom cameras saved and bound, bring up the landing challenge and we're going to use the cameras. Alright, so I got my camera angle set up. So we're going to lower down onto this helipad here. And I do have all the helicopter assistances turned on. I normally don't fly them with the assistances, but for a precision landing it makes it easier, so use every crutch you can get, right? You pretty much need it to get the precise landing that we're looking for. So I'm going to just maneuver the helicopter over the helipad and try and have my nose kind of pointed forward. So switch to the view here, kind of line up the skids, get to the side, come in forward. So you're lining up how forward you are. Go to the back, line up the side again, forward, side, and now the rest is just come down super slow. And see what kind of score that gives you. That's enough for first place. All right, so that's that. So I hope you've gained a little bit of some tips and some knowledge here that you can apply to possibly making some of your times faster. If you're already faster than me, you don't need this video. Thanks for watching anyway. If you did enjoy it and you found some value here, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks. Have a good one, everybody.